Hi friends, so I guess welcome back to Willow Paint stuff on clothing. As many of you probably already know, I've basically started a side business, I guess you could say. I've started painting clothes and actually selling them. It's funny, I've never really thought that my art would bring me money, if that makes sense. I always just did art to like clear my head. I just did it because I enjoyed it, so it's like kind of crazy that I'm painting stuff and literally selling and making money off it, which is like insane. I mean, I'm not even really making money off it, to be honest. The majority of the money I make goes straight back into the art. All my equipment is quite expensive and I don't really sell them for quite much more than what it costs. Now, I truly enjoy painting things for other people and I think that's why I've stuck with it. Prepare for a lot more of these videos because I don't plan on stopping this anytime soon. This was always kind of just something that I thought I'd do for a little bit and then move on, but it's truly stuck with me and I actually really enjoy painting things for other people and I love seeing the excitement when someone gets their item. I'd also just like to straight up thank everyone that's like already supported me so far. Your guys' response to my art, your requests for commission work, none of this would exist without your guys' response or like you guys wanting the clothing and stuff. So I just want to thank everyone that's supported me so far. I really like this art form that I've got going at the moment because I'm almost in collaboration with the person that's buying the clothing off me. When they message me and come to me with a request, we like collaborate on ideas and then figure something out, and so it's cool to like almost collaborate with the customer as well. I think that's one of my favorite parts of doing this, and if you're interested, please just send me a message and we can talk about it. We can collaborate on ideas. Yeah, I love just messaging people about it and stuff, so it's lots of fun. Anyway, so today we are doing a t-shirt that you can see behind me. This t-shirt's for a good friend of mine. I'm doing a Dragon Ball Z design. I'm doing Chevron coming out of the clouds. It's actually a part of one of the intros. So what I do when I start with every single work I do, start off with a white base coat. It just makes the t-shirt easier to paint on because fabric is like so thin and soft. Putting down a base coat makes it a lot easier to paint on it. Because of what I'm referencing from, I actually had to crop still frames of a video. This is basically the design I'm doing. It's Chevron coming up out of the clouds. I do freehand a lot of the stuff in my designs. If I'm exactly copying a photo, I want to at least have the general size and position of everything correct. So I do go ahead and pad out all the pieces and then trace around them, but then I usually paint over majority of the stuff that I've traced and I'll end up having to freehand it anyway. I'll take you through that process. I didn't take you through putting down the base coat because that's just boring. I actually use shoe paint to paint my t-shirts. At the moment I'm using Angela's. It's a leather paint. Because I'm painting on t-shirts and jackets, I put Too Soft with it. This just thins out the paint so that it actually dries in the fabric. Yeah, that's enough of me explaining what I do. I'm now going to take you through the process of me tracing out this design and stuff. So I'm just going to do a time lapse, and what you'll see me doing is you'll see me cutting out the design with this thing and then just tracing it out with a texter. I literally just worked a 10.5-hour day and I still will come home and do fabric painting. Like, I don't even know what motivates me to come home and do art after a 10-hour day of work, but I still do. I don't know why. Sake! Right when I need it. It's got no charge. Knowing me, because I never charge it. Really prepared, Willow. Really prepared. 10 out of 10. Good job. Nice doing business with you. Love your work ethic. Roll up your sleeves. Da, 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 da. It's easier to leave it. It's easier to face it. You know, know, they say I'm a good singer, but sometimes I don't think I am. Yeah, one of the hardest things for me to actually do is to pour only a little bit. I can never just pour a little bit. I have to pour like the whole thing. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm starting to paint. So what I'm doing now is I'm just block coloring. To this paint, I did add a little bit of Too Soft. Oh yeah, also don't mind me just like totally looking like trash right now. I shouldn't have to get all dolled up for a video. I honestly don't care how I look, to be honest. Want me at my best, you better like me at my worst, because this is it, honey. Yeah, it's so crazy. I went from having nothing to do when COVID-19 started to having 2 day jobs now and basically a side business, and I'm about to start uni online. So I basically have 3 jobs and I'm a full-time uni student, which is just like nuts, and it's low-key overwhelming, but I'm honestly the happiest ever. I'm one of those people that love to be busy all the time. I love to have little goals and have deadlines and stuff, which is like so weird. Who likes deadlines? That's weird. But yeah, I'm at my happiest when I'm busy usually. I literally only bought these paints probably like a month ago, and I'm already running out of my white paint. It's like scary because this paint costs so much money. The things you do for art, right?
I'm blued up. If I was green, I would die. If I was green, I would die.
I'm back. So I'm gonna do some more painting. I don't really want to talk. I'm like hella tired. Yeah, you can just watch me paint. This is the base coat basically done. I've done 2 layers of a white base coat, and now I've just done 1 or 2 layers of just base colors. This is just giving me a base coat of everything with Too Soft down so that the paint actually does soak into the fabric. So now that I've done this, I'll let this dry, and then I actually heat set this layer so that this paint doesn't come off when you wash the t-shirt. So that's basically the base of this done. I won't come back to this until probably another 2 days. I'll let it fully dry and heat set it and everything. Once again, I'll be back. We're like getting pretty close to being done with this one, which is super exciting. Yeah, so I did the Too Soft base coat and then I heat dried that, and now I've started using purely just the paint to do the main color blocking, and next I'll go in and do further shadowing and then detailing, which will be super exciting. I still need to do a few more block coloring. I don't know how I seem to get paint all over me every single time I paint, but but I get it everywhere. I also need to stop wearing jumpers I like when I paint because I get it all over me. Got like something like 6 orders going at the moment. That's just so wild to think that people will spend like quite a bit of money on my art is just like so nuts. So I know I said it at the start of the video, but thank you so much to everyone that has already bought stuff off me. This is crazy. Never really thought I'd start making money off my art. I never really thought I was that good at art, to be honest. Because they're like, how can you say you're not good at art? I never felt like I had my own creative drive with art, but I think I've found my niche now. So this one's going pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out. I'm finishing this a lot quicker than I thought I was going to, but then again, if I think about it, this design is quite simple compared to some of the designs I've done before. But yeah, I guess I'll be back with painting this again soon. And now I present to you the Dragon Ball Z t-shirt. I finally finished it. It probably took me about 3 days. Probably took me about 10 hours, which sounds like a lot of time, like I always say, but when you enjoy doing something, you honestly don't even realize that you're spending that long on it. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's actually quite a large design. It's probably one of the largest ones I've done so far, I think. The colors turned out great. They're super vibrant and the green looks fantastic on it. I kind of realized how simplistic the actual animation in the intro is when I was doing the bottom. The hills are like quite simply drawn. The animation of him as well down the bottom is quite simple. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Chevron looks fantastic. So got a few new paintbrushes in the middle of doing this. Feel like all my detailing is done really well because I got a few tinier paintbrushes that I really needed. I honestly thought I wasn't gonna need heaps small paintbrushes, but the further I went along, the further I realized that I did. Once I finish a design, I let it dry for 48 hours full without touching it or moving it or anything or letting it being worn, so that the paint properly dries into the fabric. Because there's so many layers and it's in fabric, it can still potentially be wet underneath there. So I give it a full 48 hours to properly set and dry, and then I'll give it a quick wash in my washing machine and let it dry and then give it to the person. Question that I get all the time, and something that's super important about fabric painting, is these designs will last if you take care of them, just like any piece of clothing or any t-shirt you get with a print on it. These designs are more flimsy because I hand paint them all. They're a lot more delicate than other items. Like if you just have a print tee, you can kind of just throw it in the wash and then eventually it'll crack and split after years of wearing it. But because I hand paint all my work and they're actually quite delicate, you just have to take a little bit more care of them. Things like washing them inside a laundry bag when you put them in your washing machine. Just don't use harsh detergents, don't tumble dry them, don't let them dry in direct sunlight, all that kind of stuff. As long as you follow all those instructions, your design will last a really long time. You just have to take care of the clothing piece. I also send my products away with a little list of care instructions and a little like thank you note for, you know, buying my artwork. But I hope you all enjoyed this video and you enjoyed watching me paint for a while. I hope you all are doing well and living well, and I'll see you all in the next one.